Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. Chapter 1. The Worst Birthday, or Harry's Summer of Misery. Harry Potter is back at Privet Drive, and it's somehow worse than before. The Dursleys are pretending he doesn't exist, which would be great, except they also won't let him do literally anything. His owl Hedwig is locked in her cage and furious about it. Harry's not allowed to say the word magic, or mention anything about his actual life. It's Harry's 12th birthday, and absolutely nobody remembers or cares. Not even his best friends Ron and Hermione have written to him all summer, which is suspicious and hurtful. Harry's starting to wonder if Hogwarts was just a really elaborate dream, and he's actually losing his mind in this cupboard. Well, small bedroom, but barely an upgrade. The Dursleys are preparing for a dinner party with the Masons, a rich couple that Uncle Vernon is trying to impress for a business deal. Vernon threatens Harry to stay in his room, don't make noise, and pretend he doesn't exist. If the dinner goes well, Vernon might let Harry have actual food for once. Harry agrees, because he has no choice, and goes upstairs feeling miserable. He's talking to himself about how nobody cares about his birthday when he notices someone sitting on his bed. There's a creature with huge tennis ball eyes, bat-like ears, and a pillowcase for clothes staring at him. This is Dobby the house elf, and he is here to ruin everything. Dobby immediately starts crying and praising Harry like he's a celebrity, which, in fairness, he is. But then, Dobby reveals he's there to stop Harry from going back to Hogwarts because terrible things are going to happen. Harry's like, cool story, but I'm definitely going back. And Dobby starts trashing his room and wailing loudly. Harry desperately tries to shut Dobby up because the dinner party is happening downstairs. Too late. Dobby runs downstairs and uses magic to make the pudding Mrs. Dursley made float to the ceiling and then drop on Mrs. Mason's head. The Dursleys think Harry did it. The Masons leave in horror. Vernon's business deal is ruined. The Ministry of Magic immediately sends Harry a warning letter because underage wizards aren't allowed to do magic outside school. Vernon literally puts bars on Harry's window and installs a cat flap in the door to push food through. Harry is now actually imprisoned. This is somehow legal in this universe. Chapter 2. The Burrow, or the Weasleys commit breaking and entering to save Harry. Harry's been locked in his room for days. Hedwig is still caged. He's been living on canned soup pushed through a cat flap. The Dursleys are treating him like a dangerous criminal, which is ironic considering they're the ones who installed prison bars on a child's window. One night, Harry wakes up to see his best friend Ron Weasley's face pressed against the bars of his window. Ron is floating outside in a flying car with his twin brothers Fred and George. They've stolen their dad's enchanted Ford Anglia to rescue Harry in the middle of the night. The Weasleys tie the bars to the car with a rope and rip them off the house. The noise is incredible. They load Harry's trunk and Hedwig into the flying car. Uncle Vernon wakes up, runs into the room and grabs Harry's ankle, but Harry kicks free and zooms away. Vernon is left dangling out a broken window, and Harry is finally free. The Weasleys are laughing and acting like Grand Theft Auto, and property destruction is just a fun Tuesday night activity. They fly to the Weasley house, called the Burrow, which looks like it should collapse at any moment, but is held up by magic. It's cozy and chaotic and everything the Dursleys' house isn't. Mrs. Weasley is furious that her son stole the car but relieved Harry is safe. She makes everyone breakfast, and Harry feels more at home than he ever did at the Dursleys'. The Weasley family is huge. There's Bill, works with the Gringotts Wizarding Bank in Egypt as a curse breaker. Charlie works with dragons. Percy, the uptight prefect at Hogwarts. Fred and George, Chaos twins. Ron, Harry's best friend, and Ginny, the youngest, who has a massive crush on Harry and runs away every time she sees him. Harry spends the rest of the summer at the Burrow having the best time of his life. They play Quidditch in the garden, denome the yard, throw angry gnomes over the fence, and eat Mrs. Weasley's incredible cooking. It's paradise. Chapter 3. The Diagon Alley Disaster, or Harry discovers flu powder is hard. It's time to get school supplies in Diagon Alley. The Weasleys are going by flu powder. You throw powder in a fire, step in, and shout your destination clearly. Ron demonstrates by shouting, "Diagon Alley," and spinning away in the flames. Harry goes next. He's nervous, gets ash in his mouth, and mumbles something that sounds like diagonally instead of Diagon Alley. The Flu Network has no idea what diagonally means, so it just drops Harry somewhere random. He ends up in Borgin and Burke's, a shop in Nocturne Alley, the evil wizard shopping district. Everything here is cursed or dangerous. Harry hides in a cabinet and watches Draco Malfoy and his father Lucius walk in. Lucius is selling dark artifacts before the Ministry can raid his house, and Draco is being his usual spoiled self, demanding better birthday presents. Harry escapes, gets lost in Nocturne Alley, where people try to sell him human fingernails and poison, and finally runs into Hagrid, who escorts him to safety. They meet the Weasleys and Hermione in Diagon Alley, and everyone's relieved Harry didn't get kidnapped or cursed. At the bookshop, there's a book signing with Gilderoy Lockhart, a celebrity wizard with perfect teeth who has written books about all his heroic adventures. He's incredibly handsome, incredibly vain, and immediately announces that he'll be the new defense against the dark arts teacher at Hogwarts. He also makes Harry take photos with him for publicity, which is embarrassing. Lucius Malfoy shows up to sneer at everyone, especially the Weasleys, because they're poor, and Hermione, because she's Muggle-born. He and Arthur Weasley get into an actual fistfight in the bookshop, which is broken up before anyone gets seriously hurt. While everyone's distracted, Lucius slips something into Ginny's cauldron, a mysterious black book. Chapter 4. The Ford Anglia saves the day, by which I mean crashes into a tree. It's time to go to Hogwarts. Everyone's at King's Cross Station. Harry and Ron go to run through the barrier to platform 9 3/4, but it won't let them through. They smash into the solid wall like cartoon characters. The barrier is sealed. They panic because the Hogwarts Express is about to leave without them. Ron has a genius, terrible idea. They'll fly Mr. Weasley's enchanted car to Hogwarts. Harry agrees because apparently they've both lost their minds. They load their trunks and take off in an invisible flying car. At first it's magical. They're flying above clouds and following the train tracks. Then everything goes wrong. The invisibility booster breaks, so Muggles start seeing them. They nearly crash into a train. They run out of magic power, and the car starts falling. They crash land into the Whomping Willow, a violent tree on Hogwarts grounds that tries to murder them. The car breaks Ron's wand in half. The car kicks them out and drives itself into the Forbidden Forest. Ron and Harry are bruised, scratched, and terrified. Snape finds them, and is thrilled to finally have an excuse to expel Harry. He takes them to his office and lists all the rules they broke. Underage magic, being seen by Muggles, damaging a protected tree, flying a car hundreds of miles illegally. But Dumbledore and McGonagall don't expel them, just give them detention and send a letter to the Weasleys. Ron gets a howler, a screaming letter, from his mom the next day that yells at him in front of the entire Great Hall. It's humiliating but also kind of hilarious. Chapter 5. The Whomping Willow holds a grudge. Classes start, and they're a mixed bag. Herbology with Professor Sprout. They're repotting mandrakes, which are plants that look like ugly babies and have screams that can kill you. Everyone wears earmuffs. The mandrakes scream anyway. It's disturbing. Transfiguration with McGonagall. Still turning animals into objects and vice versa. Hermione is perfect at everything as usual. Defense against the dark arts with Gilderoy Lockhart. This guy is a disaster. He releases a cage of pixies to show the class how to handle them, and the pixies immediately cause chaos, pulling hair, throwing books, grabbing wands. Lockhart tries a spell, fails completely, and runs away, leaving Harry, Ron, and Hermione to round up the pixies. He's clearly a fraud. Ron's broken wand keeps malfunctioning and causing problems. He needs a new one but can't afford it. Harry starts hearing a voice in the walls, a cold, murderous voice saying things like, "Rip, tear, kill." Nobody else can hear it. This is concerning, but Harry doesn't mention it because he doesn't want to seem crazier than he already does after the flying car incident. Chapter 6. Gilderoy Lockhart is the worst. Lockhart continues to be aggressively useless at teaching. Instead of actual defense skills, he makes students reenact scenes from his books. He volunteers Harry to play a werewolf that Lockhart defeated, and it's humiliating. Lockhart is clearly obsessed with fame and himself. The only good thing about his class is that he's so incompetent it's funny. Meanwhile, nearly headless Nick, Gryffindor's ghost, is upset because he wasn't allowed to join the Headless Hunt, a ghost club for people who are fully decapitated, not just mostly. He asks Harry to come to his Death Day party on Halloween, and Harry agrees to be nice. Colin Creevey, an annoying first year who idolizes Harry, starts following him everywhere taking photos. Harry just wants to be left alone, but Colin is relentless. Chapter 7. Mudbloods and Murmurs, or Draco Says a Slur. Quidditch season starts. Gryffindor has practice, but Slytherin shows up and kicks them off the field because Lucius Malfoy bought the entire team new Nimbus 2001 broomsticks, the fastest model. And now Draco Malfoy is the Slytherin team seeker. Draco didn't earn the spots. His father literally paid for it with new broomsticks. Hermione calls them out, and Malfoy calls her a mudblood, a horrible slur for Muggle-born wizards. It's basically wizard racism. Ron tries to curse Malfoy, but his broken wand backfires and he starts vomiting slugs. He has to go to Hagrid's to wait it out while Harry and Hermione comfort him. Everyone is furious at Malfoy, but he doesn't care. He's awful and proud of it. Chapter 8. The Death Day Party, or the most depressing party ever. Halloween arrives, and Harry keeps his promise to attend nearly headless Nick's Death Day party. Ron and Hermione reluctantly come along. The party is in a dungeon and is attended entirely by ghosts. Everything is rotten food. Ghosts like the smell, apparently. The music is horrible, and the whole thing is freezing cold and depressing. They try to leave politely after a reasonable amount of time. On the way back, Harry hears the voice again. The murderous, cold voice in the walls. It's saying kill. Time to kill. Harry follows the voice, dragging Ron and Hermione with him. They find water all over the floor and a message written on the wall in what looks like blood. The Chamber of Secrets has been opened. Enemies of the Heir, beware. Hanging below the message is Mrs. Norris, Filch's cat, looking dead. Filch arrives and immediately accuses Harry of killing his cat. Students gather, staring. It's a nightmare. Dumbledore arrives with other teachers and examines Mrs. Norris. She's not dead. She's petrified, frozen like a statue. Only powerful dark magic can do this. Dumbledore announces that the Chamber of Secrets has indeed been opened. Everyone looks at Harry like he's the culprit because he was found at the scene. This year is off to a great start. Chapter 9. The Writing on the Wall, or Hogwarts History Lesson. Professor McGonagall explains the legend. Salazar Slytherin, one of Hogwarts' founders, built a secret chamber somewhere in the school. Inside is a monster that only the Heir of Slytherin can control. The monster's purpose is to purge the school of Muggle-born students, because Slytherin was a bigot. Everyone thought it was just a myth, but apparently not. Someone has opened the chamber, unleashed the monster, and it petrified Mrs. Norris as a warning. The school is buzzing with rumors. Some people think Harry is the Heir of Slytherin. Classes continue, but everyone's paranoid. Lockhart keeps acting like he's the only one brave enough to handle the situation, even though he's clearly useless. Chapter 10. The Rogue Bludger, or Quidditch, tries to kill Harry again. Gryffindor plays Slytherin in Quidditch. During the match, one bludger goes absolutely insane trying to kill Harry. It chases only him, ignoring everyone else. Harry's dodging for his life while trying to catch the Snitch Fred and George Weasley, the beaters, keep hitting the bludger away, but it keeps coming back. Harry catches the snitch, but the bludger breaks his arm in the process. Gryffindor wins, but Harry's in agony. Lockhart tries to heal Harry's arm, and instead removes all the bones in his arm. It's like a rubber noodle. Harry has to go to the hospital wing to regrow his bones overnight, which is excruciatingly painful. While in the hospital, Dobby, remember him, shows up and warns Harry again not to stay at Hogwarts. Harry refuses to leave. Dobby admits he sealed the barrier at King's Cross and charmed the bludger in today's match to try to injure Harry so he'd be sent home. Wait, what? Dobby, are you trying to save Harry or kill him? While Harry's recovering, someone gets petrified again. Colin Creevey is found frozen solid holding his camera. The Chamber of Secrets has struck again. Chapter 11. The Dueling Club, or Harry accidentally reveals he's a Parselmouth. The attacks continue to terrify everyone. Lockhart decides to start a dueling club to teach students to defend themselves, even though he can barely defend himself from pixies. At the first session, Lockhart duels Snape and gets absolutely destroyed in seconds. It's embarrassing. Then students pair up to practice. Harry gets paired with Draco Malfoy because the universe hates him. Malfoy conjures a snake and sets it on Harry. The snake looks angry and ready to strike at a student. Harry, without thinking, talks to the snake in Parseltongue, snake language, and tells it to back off. The snake stops, but everyone is horrified. Talking to snakes is a rare dark magic ability associated with Salazar Slytherin. Now everyone thinks Harry is the heir of Slytherin. Ron and Hermione have to explain to Harry that Parseltongue is not a normal skill and really doesn't look good given the circumstances. Harry's like, "I didn't know it was weird. I just thought it was like speaking another language." The school now fears and distrusts Harry. Whispers follow him everywhere. People avoid him in corridors. It's traumatic. Chapter 12. The Polyjuice Potion, or Hermione has a morally questionable plan. Hermione comes up with a plan to find out if Malfoy is the heir of Slytherin. They'll brew Polyjuice Potion, which lets you transform into another person for an hour. It takes a month to brew and requires stealing ingredients from Snape's private stores. Harry and Ron think this plan is insane, but Hermione is determined. They start brewing the potion in a bathroom that's haunted by Moaning Myrtle, a whiny ghost girl who cries constantly and floods the bathroom. They steal ingredients from Snape during the chaos of another attack. Justin Finch-Fletchley and nearly headless Nick are both petrified. Nick is a ghost. You can't even kill a ghost, and yet the monster petrified him anyway. Whatever this creature is, it's incredibly powerful. Suspicion falls even harder on Harry, because Justin was found right after he and Harry had an argument. Harry's reputation is destroyed. Chapter 13. The Very Secret Diary, or Tom Riddle's creepy memory book. Christmas break arrives. Harry, Ron, and Hermione stay at Hogwarts to execute their Polyjuice plan. The potion is finally ready. They transform into Crabbe, Goyle, Malfoy's dumb bodyguards, and a girl from Slytherin. Except Hermione accidentally used a cat hair instead of human hair, and partially transforms into a cat. She has to stay in the hospital wing for weeks getting defurred while Harry and Ron infiltrate Slytherin. They question Malfoy in the Slytherin common room, and he reveals he's not the heir of Slytherin, but wishes he was, so he could help get rid of Muggleborns. He's awful, but not the culprit. The potion wears off, and they barely escape. Meanwhile, Moaning Myrtle, who is having a breakdown as usual. She tells Harry that someone threw a book at her, a diary. The diary is blank and belongs to someone named Tom Riddle from 50 years ago. Harry tries writing in it, and the diary writes back. Tom Riddle's memory is preserved in the book, and he can communicate. He tells Harry that the Chamber of Secrets was opened 50 years ago, someone died, and the person responsible was expelled. Riddle even shows Harry his memory of catching the culprit, Hagrid. Harry sees a memory of young Hagrid with a monster, looks like a giant spider, and Tom Riddle accusing Hagrid of opening the chamber. Hagrid was expelled, his wand was broken, and the case was closed. Harry doesn't want to believe Hagrid could be responsible, but the evidence looks bad. Chapter 14. Cornelius Fudge is useless. Also, Aragog exists. More attacks happen. Hermione is still in the hospital wing with cat features. The school is in crisis mode. Then Hagrid gets arrested. The Minister of Magic, Cornelius Fudge, a politician who's useless in a crisis, decides to take action by sending Hagrid to Azkaban prison, even though there's no evidence he's guilty. Lucius Malfoy, who's on the school board, pressures Dumbledore to step down as headmaster temporarily. Before Hagrid is taken away, he tells Harry and Ron, who are hiding under the invisibility cloak, to follow the spiders if they want answers. So naturally, Harry and Ron follow a trail of spiders into the Forbidden Forest at night because they have no sense of self-preservation. The spiders lead them to an enormous colony of giant spiders ruled by Aragog, a monster spider the size of an elephant. Aragog confirms that Hagrid raised him from an egg 50 years ago, and that Hagrid is innocent. Aragog never killed anyone. But Aragog won't say what the actual monster in the chamber is because spiders fear it. Then Aragog casually mentions that his children are hungry and can eat Harry and Ron. The spider colony surrounds them, ready to attack. They're about to die when Mr. Weasley's Ford Anglia, which has been living wild in the forest, crashes in and saves them. They escape by car, terrified and traumatized. At least they know Hagrid is innocent, but they still don't know what the monster is. Chapter 15. Cornelius Fudge's incompetence continues. The school year is ending badly. Exams are cancelled because too many people are petrified. Hermione is one of the latest victims. She's found petrified in the library, holding a mirror and a piece of paper with information about the monster. Harry and Ron are devastated. They finally look at the paper she was clutching. It's about basilisks, giant serpents that kill with their gaze. But everyone who was attacked only saw the basilisk's reflection, or indirectly, which is why they were petrified instead of killed. Everything clicks. Harry's been hearing the basilisk moving through the pipes because he speaks Parseltongue. The monster travels through Hogwarts' plumbing system. It's a snake, which is why Slytherin's heir can control it. But where's the entrance to the chamber, and who's controlling the basilisk? Chapter 16. The Chamber of Secrets, or Everything Goes Wrong in a Bathroom. Ginny Weasley gets kidnapped and taken into the Chamber of Secrets. A message on the wall says, her skeleton will lie in the chamber forever. Ron and Harry realize the entrance must be in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. She died 50 years ago when the chamber was first opened. They find Lockhart, who's packing to run away because he's a coward and a fraud. They force him to come help. In the bathroom, Harry talks to the snake carving on a sink in Parseltongue, and the sink opens to reveal a pipe leading down into darkness. They slide down into a disgusting underground cavern full of bones. Lockhart tries to use Ron's broken wand to erase Harry and Ron's memories, to cover up his fraud. But the wand backfires and erases Lockhart's memory instead. There's a cave-in, trapping Ron and the now useless Lockhart on one side, and Harry continues alone toward the chamber. Chapter 17. The Heir of Slytherin, or Tom Riddle, is the worst. Harry finds Ginny lying unconscious in the chamber, a huge statue of Salazar Slytherin looming nearby. Tom Riddle appears, not as a memory, but looking almost solid. He's absorbing Ginny's life force. Riddle reveals everything. His full name is Tom Marvolo Riddle, which is an anagram for I am Lord Voldemort. He's a younger version of Voldemort preserved in the diary. He's been possessing Ginny all year through the diary, making her open the chamber and set the basilisk on students. Ginny tried to get rid of the diary, which is how it ended up in the toilet, but Riddle kept pulling her back. Lucius Malfoy planted the diary in Ginny's cauldron at the bookshop to frame the Weasleys and discredit Arthur Weasley. Riddle summons the basilisk, a 60-foot serpent, to kill Harry. Harry is about to die when Dumbledore's Phoenix Fawkes arrives, carrying the Sorting Hat Fawkes blinds the basilisk by attacking its eyes, and Harry pulls the Sword of Gryffindor out of the Sorting Hat, because apparently that's a thing it can do. Harry fights a blind but still deadly basilisk in the chamber. He stabs it through the roof of its mouth with the sword, killing it, but one of its fangs pierces his arm, injecting deadly venom. Harry is dying. In desperation, Harry stabs the diary with the basilisk fang, destroying Riddle's memory. Ginny wakes up, and Fawkes heals Harry with Phoenix Tears, which have healing powers. They escape the chamber with Ron and a confused Lockhart. Ginny is traumatized and sobbing, terrified she'll be expelled. Chapter 18. Dobby's Reward, or the Malfoys Get Owned. In Dumbledore's office, Ginny explains everything through tears. Dumbledore is kind and understanding. She was manipulated by dark magic and isn't at fault. Harry backs her up, and nobody gets in trouble except Lucius Malfoy, eventually. Dumbledore explains that Harry pulled the sword from the hat because only a true Gryffindor could do so. He also confirms that Harry has some of Voldemort's powers, like Parseltongue, because of the night Voldemort tried to kill him. Part of Voldemort's power transferred to Harry accidentally. Lucius Malfoy storms in demanding to know why Dumbledore is back as headmaster. Dumbledore calmly explains that the governors asked him to return. Harry realizes Lucius planted the diary on Ginny and tricks him into freeing Dobby. He gives Lucius back the diary with his sock. Lucius throws away the sock in disgust, and Dobby catches it. In house elf rules, if a master gives an elf clothes, the elf is freed. Dobby is free and ecstatic. Lucius tries to attack Harry, but Dobby defends him. Lucius leaves in humiliated rage, and Dobby is the happiest elf alive. Chapter 19. Victory Feast, or Everything is Fine Again. Hermione and the other petrified students are revived with Mandrake Potion. Hermione hugs Harry so hard she nearly breaks his ribs. Hagrid returns from Azkaban. Lockhart is in the hospital wing with permanent memory loss. Whoops. Exams are cancelled, which makes everyone except Hermione happy. At the end of year feast, Gryffindor wins the House Cup. Again. Hagrid gets a standing ovation. Dumbledore announces that next year's defense against the dark arts position is open. Shocking. On the Hogwarts Express home, Harry reflects that even though the year was terrible, he survived and helped save Ginny. He's going back to the Dursleys, but only for the summer. Hogwarts is his real home now. Ron and Hermione promise to write constantly, and maybe even call using a telephone, which Ron has no idea how to operate. Harry heads back to Privet Drive with a smile, already counting down the days until next September. The end. What we learned: never trust a diary that writes back. Lockhart is a fraud and got what he deserved. Spiders are terrifying and should not be followed. Phoenix tears are the best. Parseltongue is not a great skill to have publicity-wise. Dobby deserved better from the start. The Weasleys are ride-or-die friends. Flying cars eventually betray you but will save you when it counts. Voldemort has had terrible fashion sense since he was 16. And most importantly, if you hear voices in the walls, tell an adult. Coming next, Harry accidentally inflates his aunt like a balloon, meets a mass murderer who supposedly wants to kill him, learns about soul-sucking demons called Dementors, and discovers that time travel is real and used primarily for taking extra classes priorities.